My dear friends, welcome to Essentials of Inorganic Chemistry. I am your friend Dr. V.D. Bhatt and I am discussing a chapter on symmetry. This is the sixth talk in the series, and today I am going to discuss some point groups like DN, DND, and DNH. This is the English version of the lecture. And friends, I very humbly request you that if you are new here, then please go back and attend the previous lectures in the series. Then only you will be able to understand the topics that I am going to discuss today. So we will begin with DN groups. These are the groups in which you will find n number of twofold, that is C2 axis, which are perpendicular to the principal axis. And most importantly, there is no plane of symmetry in such type of molecules. So, if you have a molecule of which you don't know the point group, and if you suspect that the point group of this molecule can be Dn, then the things that you have to see are the presence of C2 axis perpendicular to the principal axis. If you find C2 axis perpendicular to the principal axis, then the next thing that you have to see is you have to look for the plane of symmetry. And if you are not able to find any plane of symmetry, then and then the molecule will belong to the Dn point group. So Dn point groups are very rare. You will hardly see molecules or true molecules having Dn point group. Even for giving an example, I could not find a molecule simpler than this. You can see in the figure, this is an octahedral complex of cobalt. This is a 1:3 complex, and you see that the ligand is ethylene diamine, NCH2, CH2, NH2. The hydrogens are not shown in the figure, but they are obviously present. So there are 3 ethylene diamine units connecting the cobalt atom, and the geometry of this molecule is octahedral. Now, this is an example of D3 point group. What we do here is, we first try and locate the principal axis, and you know that principal axis is the z axis, that is the axis which is going inside the plane and outside the plane or the screen of this mobile or computer, whatever you are using. So if I rotate this molecule around this axis like this, then at an interval of 120 degree, I will get the same appearance. So when I complete a full rotation of 360 degree, the same appearance will come 3 times, and that is the highest ordered axis in this molecule. So your principal axis here is going to be C3 axis. Now, in addition to this C3 axis, you will find 3 C2 axes which are perpendicular to the principal axis. These are as shown in the figure. C2 then the other C2, and the third C2. each of these axes are passing through the central cobalt atom and between the two carbon atoms of the ethylene. So when I rotate this molecule around the C2 axis, then you will see, if I take this C2 axis, then the molecule will be turned upside down, but the appearance will remain same. So you will see that this molecule contains C3 as a principal axis and 3 C2 axes. Then you will not be able to find any plane in this molecule across which, if you reflect the molecule, the appearance remains same. So there is no plane of symmetry in this, and therefore the conditions for a molecule to become a D3 point group, a molecule of D3 point group, is satisfied. So this is an example of D3 point group. Friends, this is one of the most tricky and rare point group in general, all the DN point groups, and therefore these point groups are not generally discussed, but as a part of the syllabus I have to discuss it, and that is why I am showing you this example. Next, we'll take the DND point groups. So what happens when you suspect a D point group in a molecule? That is, when you have some C2 axis, n-fold C2 axis perpendicular to your principal axis, then in most of the cases you will end up with either DND point group or DNH point group. So first I will explain you the DND point group. Now, here this small d stands for the dihedral plane, and dihedral plane, if you recall the previous lectures, it is a plane which is passing through, or which is bisecting the two C2 axes which are perpendicular to the principal axis, that we have studied while taking the example of benzene in the previous lectures. So you have a molecule in which you have some C2 axis perpendicular to the principal axis, and then if you are able to locate a plane of symmetry which is bisecting this C2 axis, then you will be able to classify the molecule as a molecule of DND point group. Now, depending on the order of the principal axis, the value of n will be given. Here I am going to explain you today using a molecule called allene, and allene belongs to D2D point group. You can see that allene is a 3 carbon molecule, and then both the terminal carbons have 2 hydrogen atoms. You can see it very well in the figure. But you will also see that this molecule is not a planar molecule. You can see that the HCH, as I am showing by the cursor, on one of the terminal carbon atom is actually perpendicular to the plane of the HCH on the other carbon atom. So let us see the 3D video of this molecule, then perhaps you will be able to understand this in a better way. This is our allene molecule. I have not shown the symbols of the atoms. Instead, I have given only the numbers. But you know, this 1, 2 and 3 are the carbon atoms, whereas 4, 5, 6, 7 are the hydrogen atoms. And now see, the hydrogen atoms on carbon number 1 and the hydrogen atoms on carbon number 3, they are not in the same plane. You can also see like this. So this is the geometry of your allene molecule. Now let us see whether this molecule allene is belonging to your D and D point group or not. First of all, let us find out the principal axis. So principal axis is the axis passing through carbon atom number 1, 2 and 3, which is like this. And you can see when I rotate, then at an angle of 180, the appearance remains same. So the principal axis is your C2 axis. Now, if this molecule has to belong to D to D point group, then there has to be more than one C2 axis perpendicular to the principal axis, that is the C2 axis that we have seen just now, which is passing through the carbon atoms number 1, 2 and 3. Now I will show you two more C2 axes. See, if I say that an axis passing through carbon atom number 2 and which is going inside and coming outside the plane is a C2 axis perpendicular to the principal axis, then I will be wrong, because I will show you the rotation. See what happens. Initially the atoms number 1, 5 and 4 are yellow colored, which means that they are in the plane, whereas when I rotate, the atom numbers 6, 5 and 3 will occupy their position, but you will see that they will not be yellow, because this atom number 6 is outside the plane and this atom number 7 is behind the plane. See, when I rotate it, you will understand that the appearance will not be same. See, but then let me find out one axis very near to this axis. See, what I am doing is I am rotating this molecule a little bit on the principal axis, around the principal axis. Just take a look at the change in the color. See, now what has happened? Just give me one moment so that I will be able to show you the colors in much better way. See, approximately you will see that atom number 6 and 5 are red, whereas 7 and 4 are blue. Now if I rotate this molecule along the same axis, that is the axis passing through atom number 2, then you will see that the color of the atoms will remain same, which means that the atom that is outside will remain outside and the atom that is inside will remain inside. Just see, I am starting a rotation. The approximate colors will be same, So now you see that I have completed a 180-degree rotation and the colors are same, which means that the appearance is also same. So that is the axis perpendicular to the principal axis. Now you see what did I do actually. I will show it to you again and you will be able to understand it better. I had this situation that the atoms 6, 7 are yellow, whereas 5 and 4 are blue. So if I rotate, then the appearance at 180 degree will be different. But if I rotate it around an axis which is not exactly perpendicular to the plane but slightly twisted like this, I am giving an angle to the molecule, but you consider that I am giving that much angle to the axis, this much. So at this angle, if I rotate, then I will see that the appearance becomes same after a rotation of 180 degree. Therefore it is a C2 axis. There is one more such axis at an angle of 90 to the axis that we have found out recently, because for the first time what we did, we focused on 5 and 6, we kept them outside. But when I do the same thing with 4 and 7, I will get one more axis. Now finally we have found out the principal axis and then two C2 axis perpendicular to the principal axis. Then we have dihedral planes in this molecule. See, which is the dihedral plane? A plane passing through atom number 6, 1 and 7. This will divide the molecule into two equal parts, and therefore that is a plane of symmetry. And this plane of symmetry contains the principal axis and it also bisects the two C2 axes which are perpendicular to the principal axis, and therefore it is a dihedral plane. A similar dihedral plane will be a plane passing through atom number 4, 1, 5 and the remaining carbon atoms. If I cut the molecule like this, then also it will be divided into two equal parts, and therefore it is a dihedral plane. And that is how we explain that this alene molecule belongs to your D2D point group. Let us go ahead. D and H point group. Now see, if you have C2 axis perpendicular to the principal axis and no plane of symmetry, then the molecule will be belonging to the DN point group. But if you have C2 axis perpendicular to the principal axis and you are also able to find out some dihedral planes, then the molecule will belong to DN-D point group. And if you are able to find out a sigma H in a molecule where you have C2 axis perpendicular to the principal axis, then this molecule will belong to DN-H point group. So in order to illustrate DN-H point group, I will take the example of D2H point group, and the molecule to be considered is going to be pyrazine. So pyrazine belongs to D2H point group, and as expected, it has three mutually perpendicular C2 axes, and these C2 axes are also perpendicular to the principal axis. The pyrazine molecule, being a member of D2H, as 2 is an even number, will also have center of symmetry. So in this figure, I am showing you the C2 axis in your pyrazine molecule. C2-1, C2-2 and C2, which will be going inside the plane and outside the plane. Center of symmetry means if you perform a rotation of 180 degree and then you reflect the molecule in a plane perpendicular to the axis of rotation, and if the appearance remains same, then the molecule is said to possess center of symmetry. The molecule is planar, therefore the plane of molecule itself is a sigma v. Then you can divide the molecule into two equal parts like this, shown by the little bit dark lines. That is yet another sigma v. And I will show all the planes and axes in this molecule using one more 3D video. So this is your pyrazine molecule, and you can see this is one of the C2 rotation. Then I will show you one more C2 rotation, which we will call the principal axis, because that is the most important part of this. Just a moment. First I will arrange the molecule in one plane. Then now see, I am starting to rotate this. What happens? At an angle of 180 degree, the positions of the nitrogen atoms are interchanged, and therefore the appearance of the molecule becomes same. So that one is your principal axis. And plane perpendicular to the principal axis is the molecular plane, and that is your sigma h. So in order to classify any molecule in the category of D and H, what you need to find out is first of all the principal axis, and then you have to find out some C2 axis which are perpendicular to the principal axis. So I have shown you the principal axis, that is the axis passing through the center of this molecule, that is the C2 axis. Now this is an axis, also C2 axis, right? Because if I rotate the molecule around any axis passing through two opposite atoms, then it is a C2 axis. So an axis passing through C2 and 6 is C6, axis passing through C5 and C1, axis passing through N4 and N3. These are all C2 axis. Now you may also find some dihedral planes, but see, dn is less than dnd is less than dnh. If you are able to locate a sigma h, then don't worry about sigma d, because the name will get finalized. If you have a principal axis and then you have C2 axis perpendicular to the principal axis, and then you have a sigma h, then definitely the molecule will belong to the point group D and H only. So this pyrazine is a molecule belonging to D2H point group. Now let me show you our favorite molecule, the benzene molecule. This we have already discussed in detail, but I will quickly and briefly repeat the explanation. First, benzene has D6H symmetry. It belongs to a D and H point group, and N is equal to 6, therefore it is called D6H. The symmetry axis I will show in the figure. So there is one C6 axis, and the C6 axis is also C2 axis, and it is also C3 axis. I will show you how. The C6 axis, let me show you benzene molecule, and now I am rotating the molecule by an angle of 60, that is C6 rotation. So what happens? C3 will go to C4, or C4 goes to C3. So this is your C6 rotation. The same appearance is also repeated if I rotate by an angle of 120. The rotation of 120 means C4 comes to C2 and so on. Let us see. The appearance remains same. It has to remain same. This is also C2 axis. C2 axis means rotation of 180 degree, which means that C6 comes to C3. So even at this 180 degree, you will see that the appearance remains same. So the C6 axis is also C2 axis, and it is also C3 axis. And now you will see what we have already discussed. The principal axis C6 is passing through the center of the molecule, going inside the plane and coming outside the plane. And then you have several C2 axes in this molecule. An axis passing through C1 and C4, an axis passing through C3 and C6, an axis passing through C2 and C5. So you have C2 axis perpendicular to principal axis. And now if you find a plane perpendicular to the principal axis, then your molecule will belong to D and H point group. And you see that this molecular plane, the plane in which the molecule is a plane of symmetry, and it is perpendicular to the principal axis, and therefore your benzene molecule belongs to D6H point group. Now you see C6 square, that is 120 degree, is equal to C3. C6 cube is equal to 180 degree, that is equal to C2. And C6 raised to 4 is equal to 240 degree, so that is equal to C3 square. C6 raised to 5 is independent. It has no relation with either C3 or C2 or any other rotational axis. Now in this molecule, there are 6 C2 axes perpendicular to the principal axis, and I will show you it in the figure. In addition to that, the benzene molecule, we have already discussed, it has 3 sigma V planes and 3 sigma D planes, and one molecular plane called sigma H, and 6 being an even number, the molecule also possesses center of inversion. So in all, you will find 24 symmetry elements in your benzene molecule. So here you can see the different C2, C3 and C6 axis. Now I will take you to two interesting molecules. This was your allene, and then you have this ethane molecule. Now this is for your exercise. I don't think I can give you this for exercise because it will be very difficult for you to solve. Instead, I will do it for you. Just remember the answer, otherwise you can end up in trouble. Now if you have studied some organic chemistry, then you know that your ethane molecule can have different conformations. The most stable one is, the staggered conformation, like this. This is the staggered conformation. What happens here? That the opposite hydrogen atoms are placed at an angle of 180. The carbon atom number 3 and 6. See. What happens that the repulsion between them will become minimum, and therefore it will be most stable. Now if the ethane molecule is in staggered conformation, then what will be the point group of this molecule? That is the question. And since today I am discussing the D point groups, you very well know that most likely it will have a D point group. But the question is whether it will be a D or D and D or D and H. So in order to find out that, what we will have to do is, let us first find out whether this molecule has some C2 axis perpendicular to the principal axis or not. Which one will be the principal axis? An axis passing through carbon atom number 1 and 2, that is the principal axis. And so this one is going to be a principal axis, and you will see that a rotation of 120 degree will give this same appearance, and that is why your principal axis is C3 axis. Now you will find some C2 axis which are perpendicular to the principal axis. See, if I rotate this molecule like this, then also at an angle of 180 degree, you will find the same appearance. So this C2 axis is actually an axis in this plane, in a plane which is exactly at the middle of atom number 1 and 2. And then it can be visualized like this also, that this plane is in the middle of atom number 1 and 2, and the axis is somewhere between atom number 4 and 6, like this. Is passing through 4 and 6 and 3 and 7. So there will be three such axes, one exactly in the middle, then one between 4 and 6 and 3 and 7, and the other one between 4, 8 and 5, 7. So that way you will have C3 axis as principal axis and 3 C2 axis in this plane, and all these 3 axes are perpendicular to the principal axis. And now if you can find out a dihedral plane which is passing or which is bisecting the 2 C2 axes perpendicular to the principal axis, then it will be like this. a plane passing through 7, 2, 1 and 4 actually divides the molecule into two equal parts. So this molecule has a dihedral plane. It has a C3 axis as the principal axis, and it has three C2 axes perpendicular to the principal axis. Therefore, I will classify this molecule as D3D point group molecule. The staggered form of ethane belongs to D3D point group. Let us see the eclipse conformation of ethane. Here you will see, let's see, the hydrogen atom number 3 and 7, they are in one line. In the same way, hydrogen atom number 4 and 8 are in the same line, 5 and 6 are in same line. This is called eclipse conformation. Now, if you want to study the symmetry of this molecule, once again, you know that the principal axis is C3, passing through atom number 1 and 2. And then, once again, you have same type of C2 axis, just like that of the staggered conformation. If I rotate like this, then again you will see that the same appearance will come at an angle of 180. The most interesting thing about this is, or the different thing about this molecule as compared to the ethane is, that if I reflect the molecule through this plane, then you can see on both the sides of this plane, the atoms are distributed in the same way, and therefore if I reflect, then the appearance will remain same. And this plane is a plane perpendicular to the principal axis, so it is called sigma h. So you have found out principal axis, and you have also found out some C2 axis perpendicular to the principal axis, and you have also found out a sigma h in this molecule, and therefore this molecule will belong to D and H point group, and the principal axis being C3, the molecule will belong to the D3H point group. So friends, that was something about the point groups related to D, and I end the lecture over here. I know that things are getting little difficult from this point forward, but then believe me, imagination is more powerful than knowledge. If you are able to imagine the molecule properly, then finding the axis of rotation, finding the planes of reflection in the molecules are not really as difficult as you perhaps feel. So try to imagine the molecules. If you are not able to do that, then try to make some models and find out the imaginary axis of rotation and planes of reflection. And also, if you need my help, you can message me, or you can also write a comment in the comment box in the video channel. So thank you and goodbye till then.